don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the high limit sprint car series. Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet's kind of all-star sprint car midweek series that they do throughout the country, kind of bringing the best talent to light, competing against Kyle Larson, kind of a superstar thing where everybody tries to show up to beat Kyle Larson. It's kind of his thing. He ended up winning the inaugural championship this year. Wow. I mean, that's what I want to talk about next. What an amazing week this was for Kyle Larson. We'll talk about it more here in a minute, but he passes his rookie orientation for the Indy 500 with Arrow McLaren this week. Then he goes out and wins the high limit championship as well. And then goes out and wins the first race of the round of 4 in Vegas. I mean, this guy is insane. I mean, generational talent, without a doubt. A lot of people don't think that. A lot of people are whatever opinions about Larson, this and that. But he is a generational talent. He is probably one of the best drivers in the world of all time, not just of our era or our generation, but of all time. I mean, we did that whole Mount Rushmore. We've had Tony Stewart on there. We had Kyle Busch. We had AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, probably the 4 greatest drivers I'll ever live. And then honorable mention was Juan Pablo Montoya. I don't know why we didn't honorable mention Kyle Larson. I mean, this guy could jump in anything and win. This guy could jump in anything and be competitive. He goes out and proves it on a weekly basis in the Cup Series. I mean, yes, he throws races away, finds ways to lose races. It doesn't matter what he drives, but he's always fast and right up and ready to go, and speed, just insane. I mean, we are in a great time period of racing. We are kind of narrowing down our driver of the year nominees, and of course, you got to put Max Verstappen. I mean, what he's done this season in Formula One has been insane. Basically breaking every record, 10 races in a row, wins a championship with 6 races to go in a sprint race for a fact. Then Alex Palou with his amazing championship campaign this year, untouchable basically, just outdrove everybody. Strategies were on point, not really any mistakes. What really cemented it for me was that Toronto race where his whole wing was falling off and was able to hang on for like a P2 finish. Just insane driving talent. Seals the championship with the race to go. So he's definitely a nominee. And then we'll talk about it more here in a minute. But Pipo Derani put that team on his back this whole season. Ends up claiming the championship there in IMSA. And then now you got to look at who is your number 4. Who is your last option here? I think it's going to be Kyle Larson. I don't really know what anybody else can do in the world right now to compete with taking that 4th spot away from Larson as driver of the year nominee. So unless, I mean, he's already locked into the championship 4. He is the favorite. I mean, you could say, Hamlin, Truex, whatever, Byron, whatever, but none of them are advanced to the Final 4 yet. Kyle Larson's the only one. So he is the championship favorite, no matter how you slice it. He is the championship favorite. So, and then he goes out and wins the high limit sprint cars. He's going to be making an Indy 500 appearance next year. He passed his rookie orientation. I mean, Kyle Larson is a generational talent. He is one of the top 5 drivers in the world as we stand. No arguments with that. And could very well, by the end of his career, be probably one of the greatest drivers to ever walk the face of the earth. And it is a great time to be a racing fan. We are witnessing just amazing driving all throughout the world in all multiple series. And the thing that really gets me here is it's not like basketball or football or baseball where the best players in the world all play under the same umbrella leagues and they will all have a chance to face off against each other and prove who's better and whatever, sort it all out. In racing, we don't get that. I mean, there's so many different diverse niches of racing between open wheel racing, dirt track racing, short track racing, stock car racing. I mean, there's just and sports car race. There's so much different diverse racing that none of them get to compete against each other on a weekly basis or on a yearly basis. And they're all spread through all these different types of racing disciplines. So it's really hard to judge who is the best, right? So in my opinion, would I, in an ideal world situation, to see all these drivers compete against each other on the same track at the same time, that would be the best thing to ever happen in racing. Unfortunately, that will most likely never happen unless we find a way to allow a uniform series where all these guys can compete, like maybe what me and Tom have talked about, but in the past, like a battle of the nations where manufacturers from each country with drivers from that country compete against each other in like a 3-race world tour basically each season, and spread them out where they're not conflicting with other schedules throughout the world of different series, and we'll see who the best drivers in the world are. But that's only a pipe dream, a wish, an ambition, but we'll see. Maybe someday that would be a thing and we could see that happen. But as of now, we have to do it on a non-similar judging basis, I guess, is what you'd have to say.